I can tell you the books that have impacted my life.
Sure.
Yeah. So, Autobiography of a Yogi. So that's the first, like a spiritual book that I read, the first and the last. I tried to read many spiritual books after that, but just I would read the index and get it. So no interest to go any further. But Autobiography of a Yogi is what I read end to end without stopping. That's one book. And I didn't realize at that point of time that what impact what it's going to have. I just read it and I understood that whatever this person has written has happened. His experience is life like this. He's not lying or making it up. It is what this person has experienced. And if this person has experienced that, then life is very, very different from what we perceive it to be. So I read it, but I, at that point of time, didn't realize what it's done to me. Maybe much later, slowly, when I reflected back, that was probably an initiation. All the experiences and that reading that book kind of, led to something higher. So that was one book. The other book that made an impact was Papillon. So Papillon is about this, it's a true story about this guy who escaped from prison, I think 9 times or something like that. So his life, so how his spirit of freedom, he got out of impossible situations, and every time he kept getting caught, the punishment kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher. But yet he kept doing it and until the time he finally escaped. So Papillon was the second one. Third book was Ayn Rand. So Ayn Rand is Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. These two things. And actually in that particular book, there is this line, where the central character, so to speak, he's a nobody, and he looks at the world and he sees how things are, and he gets whatever happens to him and and he just says it out one day that I'll stop the turning of this world. So that thing, and then his story, how it goes, that's the third book I would strongly recommend. And then there is Mysteries of the Unexplained. That's by it's like a coffee table book by Reader's Digest. That had a deep impact on me. I read it when I was very, very small.
Like about aliens and ghosts?
About what is existing in our world which cannot be explained or not being explained by science.
Okay.
So there are anomalies in our world which don't fit the matrix. They are like glitches in the matrix, if you may say. There is no logicality behind their existence, but yet very much they are there. Okay. They prove entire history wrong. They prove science wrong. They prove everything wrong. And the very fabric of how we perceive our world is destroyed by their existences.
Okay.
So that's a book which lays out all of these various anomalies which are around the world, which are existing. That would one thing I would definitely recommend. And then there's this book called The Amphibian. So The Amphibian, it's like a fiction, but that. And then I think the first book that I ever read in my life, I was like, my father had a lot of collection of books and things like that. So there was this book called Robos of Dawn. Okay. So I was in class 2 or something when I found that book inside his box. It was this fatter book, and it had a fancy looking robot on top of it. It was written by Isaac Asimov. He's a science fiction writer. So that's the first book I read in my life, and that was a profound book for me at that age, because it just split the universe wide open of what all could exist. It fired my imagination. And then there was this lady in that book. There was a character in this book it's an advanced world, where multiplanetary world, in various, across the, universe, galaxies, humanity has spread, and extremely high tech and all this AI shit, all this. So there's a robo that's in her house, and she's in love with that robo, and she actually experiences love with an inanimate object. So that kind of shook me when I read it, and I could it was not just science fiction, it was about love itself. That, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. That's the end of the round.
Roger that.